Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. How to do that? Doubled up.
I had it on loop.
Oh. the double tap. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Double tap, yeah.
Double tap.
What's good, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon,
yeah.
good evening.
Are you gonna be on camera today since I'm monologuing, or are you just gonna be the Jisis behind the scenes?
I'm going to be the Jisis.
Okay, you're gonna Jisis it today.
Yeah.
Oh, let me do this. Hey, we have, and I do like to do this live. We have. Oh, you know what? Do you want to put the Best Bookkeeping Facebook page link on my personal feed?
Oh yeah.
Pin it. You want to
Yes,
do that?
I can do that.
I was just about to do it. And I was like, oh, this is just Jai Guy. Jai Guy's here. Jai, we got before we get into the content for the show today, which had a live virtual event last week. I want to break that down because that was like one of a kind, nothing I've ever been a part of. And I went into it like kind of doubting it. I hate to say it. I was a doubter. But blown away.
Really?
So I want to, like ridiculously blown away. So I'm excited to talk about that. And I have a top three. I don't know, maybe Trevor jumps in, maybe Rob jumps in. It might just be a total monologue today, but I've got a top three topic that I was going to hit on because it is that time of year where, and the reason that nobody's on the show is because everybody's out working right now because they're training a bunch of people because they're ramping up because it's mid-April. It's tax day.
Yeah.
It's go time. And so I thought it'd be a funny top three today, like top three funniest / most memorable new employee training moments. So I got mine. I got my top three. I don't know. I have like top five. So somehow I need to just randomly pick my favorite three out of those five. But I have podcast news for you. I added you to a meeting, but it would have been at like midnight your time. So you didn't jump on. I met with a dude he's like a social media guy, and we got this Optimizify thing that doesn't actually help us get any results, but like helps us get keywords or whatever we do with Optimizify.
Yeah.
This guy is more dialed in at the getting the views, getting the listens, getting the followers, money back guarantee. And like had some interesting things to say. So I am going to book a second call with him. We only had like 30 minutes today to talk about it. But I think as Best Damn Bookkeeping continues to grow, the podcast is a great way to like get our name out there. And obviously Home Service Happy Hour brought to you guys by Best Damn Bookkeeping. And so that's on the docket. And especially as Marty starts helping more with stuff and doing website stuff and whatever. Oh, Joe Devino's in the house. What's up, Joe? Cheers, man. I got the Best Damn Bookkeeping mug. I think Joe's got one.
Good, Joe.
Joe's got one of these babies.
I just saw the
dumbass
calendar. And
yeah.
I just saw the calendar invite that you sent. It was scheduled for yesterday, 9 p.m. my time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
I didn't know.
It came through.
Okay. Next time, shoot me a DM on WhatsApp. So
I didn't expect you to join.
Oh.
I was just thinking
if it's going to be the same time like what you said like this or on your next meeting, I can definitely jump on.
Oh, Zig's in the house. We got the Zigster in the house.
What's good, Zig?
Says yo. I like
good, Zig.
I don't know if I like YouTube usernames or if I don't, because like I never really know how to pronounce them.
Yeah,
I can't tell.
IC Dumas,
Dumas, or
IC Dumas.
Dumbass. Could be IC Dumbass. That would be funny too.
Oh yeah, that's right. IC Dumbass.
There's a lot of different ways to go with that. But anyway, so we'll I don't know, you and I and Marty, maybe I'll jump on a call with this guy and like strategize on taking Home Service Happy Hour podcast to the masses. But one thing that did go to the masses, so like update number one in our shorter version show today, last Thursday, Friday was CBF Live. Now CBF stands for Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Debbie Sardone is the queen of that.
Oh yeah.
And has been doing CBF for as long as I've been associated with home service companies. I think Sean, who runs Higher Lead Chill, I'll probably get the dates wrong, but Sean won Debbie's Cleaning for a Reason award. So Debbie has a nonprofit for cleaning for cancer patients, and Sean won the first award for cleaning for the most cancer patients when he had his cleaning business. Well before I knew him, we eventually bought that cleaning business from him, and then here we are. He and I worked together for a long time, but that was like 2005, 2006. So
20 years ago.
Yeah, collectively we go back with the Debster ways, and Debbie has had the most successful like live in-person event every year for, I don't know, since pre-COVID, because I remember being there with Sean. It was always in like late March, early April. And when COVID did COVID stuff, Sean and I were in Dallas together at Debbie's event, like wondering if we were going to be able to fly back home or like how the world was going to work. I remember getting back home and my wife maybe like stripped down in the garage, wouldn't let me in the house. She was going to like spray me down with disinfectant or something. But
Oh yeah.
So Debbie's been doing this since 2017, 2018, these CBF live events, and they've been great. I mean, she would get 500 plus people, and it was great as a vendor because it was such an engaged crowd, like people really there pushing their businesses, networking, and like wanting to use the right vendors to grow their business. So like from a trade show standpoint, our ROI was always so good going to her events because she was selective about her vendors. She would promote her vendors from the stage, and she would tell the audience like, hey, these guys aren't just here to try to sell you shit. Like, these are the people I trust to help you so that you can run a better business and make more money. And because of that, like, there's a lot of really successful business owners in CBF. Like, it is a coaching program, but there, of all the different groups of business owners that I work with, those are the most successful like group that I work with because they run a really consistent business model. So it's really fun to be a part of and watch, and I can help a ton of them. There's still like it's not just an easy button. There's tons of hard work and tons of decisions to make in running a business, but it gives you a framework for thousands of dollars instead of tens of thousands of dollars that like a franchise system would cost. And you get the coaching, you get the network, you get the group, you get the vendors. So that's how she used to do it. And it always was great. It was great for attendees. It was great for Debbie. It was great for vendors. And this year she said, when you're at the top, that's change. And I was like, no, it ain't, Debbie. No, it ain't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everybody knows that, which is not a good saying. And that's like what people say when they're like, yeah, this is what we do and this is how we do it. And we've always done it this way. So this is why we're going to do it this way. And those people lose and go out of business eventually because that is like the Blockbusters of the world. That is, you know, the Kmarts and the Sears. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is a good recipe to like go out of business. And Debbie knows that. And so Debbie says, we're going to do it virtual this year. And I was like, oh no, we took something that works. And in my experience, virtual events don't really work. That's not a reflection of Debbie at all, because she had something different in mind than where my mind went. During COVID, there were a couple virtual events I attended. Other people that I have seen try to do virtual events, and they sucked. They just were poorly attended, poorly engaged. Nobody was captive. Everybody was distracted, which of course they're virtual. Do you expect somebody to sit at their computer all day and like attend this event? Turns out, yeah, Debbie did. And she did this event. She had like a wall of everybody that was in, like hundreds and hundreds of people virtually attending her conference. Her speakers were all in a studio and she had an MC for it. And here's like some hilarious critiques, positive and negative, mostly positive, I guess. There were hundreds of people like in this Zoom webinar, you could call it, and everybody was there. Everybody was on camera. Everybody was engaged. Like, for sure, I was trying to like multitask, but if I am at a trade show, if I was at the CBF Live and it was in Dallas again, and Debbie was on stage, or coaches were on stage, or speakers were on stage, I'm never in that room. I'm out at my vendor booth, so that when people come out, I can talk to them and tell them about bookkeeping.
Yeah.
In this case, like, it's virtual, so I don't need to physically move around. I can like attend all the speaker sessions. And when somebody's on stage, whether it's Debbie or one of the coaches, or like Sean got on stage for 30 on the virtual stage for 30 minutes to talk about recruiting stuff, I can be listening. They can like shout me out and feature me, right? And Debbie did a couple times say like, here's, Dan does bookkeeping for so many CBF people. And Debbie showed her books up on the screen. And so like everybody could see what we do for Debbie to help her run her business better. And so that was cool. And so she can like shout out, and then like people can see that I'm in the room. So that was super cool. And then there's a chat going, which that chat was a son of a gun to keep up with, because when you have hundreds of people interacting in like a Zoom chat, you can't read fast enough. Like your brain can't process it all fast enough. But the chat was pretty active. And if you were, and this is like, I don't know, this is like a pro and a con, I assume. It was a pro for me. I'm thinking for Debbie it was a con, but I could see where it'd be a pro, and maybe it's just that it's going to be some of both. Is that chat was very active. Like, I don't know that 10 to 20 seconds went by all day long that there wasn't a comment. Like it was super active. I mean, it's hundreds of people. So the chat was going, and then as a vendor who's like trying to help everybody in this community, I'm watching the chat, I'm listening to Debbie or whoever's on stage, and then I would see questions pop up in the chat. And if we were all sitting in a room and Debbie was on stage, we would have the public decency to not start talking to one another, right? We wouldn't interrupt the person that's on stage. Some people have like little side combos, but it's just at your little tiny table. But in the chat, you're not really interrupting anything. You are, and this is where I say like maybe Debbie didn't find it as helpful, because she's trying to sit up there and teach, and she can see the chat like while she's talking, so she can even address points in the chat, just like if somebody drops a comment in here, like Zig Scott just did. He said he thinks he needs a bookkeeper for his new business. I'm gonna get to that, Scott. But just like that, how does BDB handle vending? Of course it does. Why is the sky blue? What makes the grass green? Science, Scott. Geez, the weeds. So like there are comments just like that where Debbie, unlike me, Debbie would actually have to stay focused and like keep presenting what she was presenting on. But then I can be chiming in the chat and like answering questions that are kind of getting thrown out there, but she doesn't have time to stop her where she's going with her speech. But the vendors and the coaches could be in the chat hitting on people's questions. And so like, I would imagine it was a little distracting to Debbie, or just the fact that everybody, like there were people paying attention to that and not necessarily always paying attention to her. But it caught, because of that constant interaction, like there were hundreds of people in that Zoom room and everybody was on camera. Everybody was engaged. And there were times where there were more or less people, because people also had the downside of that virtual event is people scheduled other stuff, right? So they would leave and come back and leave and come back. But I couldn't believe, from the ones I've attended previously, where it's kind of some people coming here and some people going there. And when I attended ones previously, they had multiple speakers going at different times. And so it gave the impression that you would just kind of check in and check out when you wanted to see a speaker. Debbie's was run like, hey, you're on and you're here for all 2 days. That's what we're doing. And like she said that expectation early on, and it was like, you get up to go to the bathroom, but she mailed participants like door hangers to put outside their door, like they were in a hotel room that's like, do not disturb. She was like, you need to isolate yourself and be committed. And there's never going to be two people speaking at once. You don't have to choose. Like, you are here, you are in it. This is what we're doing. There's not different places to be. We're going to take an hour and a half break here so that you can go get some food and go to the vendor rooms, right? And then there would be like a digital exhibit hall and people would jump in there. Yeah. And again, when I've done that at digital events, what's that?
Like breakout rooms.
Yeah. Yeah. So she did do breakout rooms Thursday night, like 3 half-hour long breakout rooms, like so an hour and a half, and that an half-hour breakout with Dan. I talk way too much for that. That was like, there's no way we were getting through what we wanted to get through in 30 minutes, but that was super valuable. And then I couldn't get to everybody that was in there and answer all their questions and try to like show them the couple things I wanted to show them. So then the next day they had vendor sessions where she would carve out 15, 20 minutes. And so I would jump over into like my little digital exhibit hall booth, if you will, and 5 people would pile in there. And so then I got to like, and that happens. It was actually kind of hilarious how it happened the same. That happens at trade shows too. 5 people will like line up at your vendor booth to try to talk to you, but you can really only like hit one person at a time. And so then like 3 of them will walk away and you kind of wonder where they went. Are they ever coming back? Virtually, it was a little easier because we're all kind of used to being on these meetings now where you could kind of hit a few people's questions, but it was funny. You would still end up talking to the one person that like asked the last question and you had to like rotate your way through them. I thought like physically that's how it happens at vendor booths. And I was kind of giggling to myself because it happened almost the same way digitally of like you'd work with one person and then people would drop out of the room if you didn't get to them soon enough. I was like, you don't go anywhere. Like you probably have the same question this person has. But I will say I didn't speak. This is as a vendor now. I'm curious, and I saw Teresa McConnell just texted me. I was curious if Teresa or Darlene, if you're in the group here, if you're listening, curious for whoever attended what their perspective was. And again, I'm really curious what Debbie's perspective was as a person like running the show, trying to add value, trying to sell spots in CBF. As a vendor, it was ridiculously, like, I don't even know if it pays to do the math. It was that ridiculously beneficial from an ROI standpoint. I think I left with 25 demos, and I think there's more to come yet. Hence Teresa's text of, hey, what's your calendar link? There's more people that want to book with you. Sean said he stopped counting at 25. He got 25. He's like, I don't know. Like, I just got to do a bunch of demos, which is why Sean's not here. Cause when I texted the link out, he's like, no way. No, too busy. Yeah. Too many people to be helped. That's kind of how I feel, but I feel obligated. I got to do a show and then I'll just be up. Then I got the show tonight. And after I get done with Ray, I'll probably be still trying to set up new clients and get stuff rolling. But I think it speaks volumes for CBF and for Debbie of like, they're go-getters. They don't just attend a conference and like sit around and do nothing. They go get this information and then they move forward with it and they take action at it. And so that was super cool. And I don't know, usually like if I can get on stage at an event, that generally has the best return because you can build trust, you can be funny, you can add a bunch of value. Joe says great work on TikTok. Joe's talking to Zig. He's not even talking to me. He's just talking about vending machines. But yeah, the ROI of that trade show to like be able to get that many demos and help that many people. And like I said, I've got 25 now, and I know there will be more still of people that I talk to, but haven't booked the time with me yet. And Sean even more so. But like that audience is so engaged and so like working on growing their business. And when I'm on stage, I generally can like engage an audience, build trust. And they're like, oh, bookkeeping doesn't have to suck. This guy is funny and drinking a beer and teaching me stuff. Maybe I should check out his bookkeeping business. So like, I hate standing at a booth and trying to sell people shit. I don't like to be sold stuff. I don't like to sell other people's stuff. I do like building relationships, and especially in bookkeeping, that is sales and the way I do it. I just don't view it as sales. I just view it as drinking beer and having fun with people, and hopefully we can help them with their numbers. But when I physically am at a show, I won't go if I don't get on stage. Like, it's pretty pointless for me to go set up a booth and try to sell people stuff. It's not enjoyable to me. The ROI is crap. But if I can get on stage, again, I can be fun. I can make jokes. I can teach. And that helps me build trust, which helps sell bookkeeping stuff. Going into Debbie's virtual event, like I said, I was so skeptical of how successful it was going to be because the ones I've been at before were so poorly engaged. like just people weren't in it. People weren't in the chat. People weren't going to the speakers. They weren't going to the breakout rooms. Debbie's group was just phenomenal. They were engaged. They were making jokes. They were helping each other constantly. And in that chat, different than being on stage, like I didn't speak, Sean did. I was just in the chat. But I was able to help people the entire time. Like if somebody had a question, I could chime in and help them. And I can't do that when I'm on stage. Like I can take a couple questions, but I can't like do a back and forth to the same extent. And so I thought that was really interesting. I didn't expect that to be the case. The benefit is, like I said, we got like 25 demos. And so I'm going to have a busy couple weeks in front of me here. The downside is we already had 18 people on our wait list because we're in the thick of it. Like we are in the busiest of the busy seasons for nerdy accounting things. And I am always adamant that I don't want to, with bookkeeping especially, like Sean's world is different with recruiting. Like people need people. He's got to like really read and react. And I'm like, no, we're a marathon. We're not a sprint. We're talking about like a 10-year relationship with a bookkeeper, hopefully more if you're still liking your business and didn't sell it. But I'm never in a rush to do bookkeeping. And if somebody's in a rush to get their books done, I don't really want them as a client. Like desperation sucks. Desperate employees suck. Desperate customers suck. And so I don't mind having that wait list. But like when it gets really far out, you're just like, dang, I want to help you right now. But it'll probably be a month by the time we like say yes, get people assigned, start digging in. But a pretty damn cool problem to have. So that is my CBF Live virtual event / best damn bookkeeping update. Super impressed with Debbie and CBF, and leave it to her to run the best virtual live event like that I've ever seen. It was absolutely off the hook. And we at Best Damn Bookkeeping are excited to help a shitload more people get their numbers right, make good decisions, make more money, and have more fun running their business. So many people don't like running their business. They like complain about their business, and it's yours. It's like you chose it. Enjoy it. Run it. Have fun. Jai, do we need to do a fake commercial break since we aren't live on the radio right now? There's no point in playing live commercials. We should probably take a fake commercial break.
Yep.
All right. Fake commercial break happening right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Home Service Happy Hour. Oh, good timing on the music, too. We were just like reading each other's minds right there. We're back with a little more Home Service Happy Hour, even though we never left, but we kind of did if you're catching the podcast later. Happy Wednesday. We got Ray Molaski. So Ray and I met at a different convention. I'm gonna get his business wrong. Cleaning for clicks for cleaning. He's got a digital marketing agency, really focused on maid service businesses. It's like specifically focused on maid service businesses, and he's scaled maid service businesses, and he helps a bunch of maid service businesses get their marketing dialed in. And maid service businesses need customers. Sean Day at Hirely Chill helps them find the employees. Ray Molaski helps them find the customers. You have to have both to scale a business. Those are the two things. So I got Ray coming on the show tonight. I'm sure we're going to talk more about CBF Live because I assume he was as blown away as I was about how well it went for a virtual event. So excited to have Ray on tonight. That'll be a fun show.
Nice.
A couple beers will likely be consumed for that one. And I think I just met with a guy that I didn't know, but I get all these like solicitations from people that want to come on the show, but they hire a podcast finder company. And so like I'm getting emails from people I don't know saying, hey, this guy would be a good guest or that guy would be a good guest.
Wow.
So I've gotten to the point where I usually send them like my 15-minute link and just do a quick, like, let me talk to you to make sure you're not going to be a really shitty guest, and let you talk to me to make sure you're going to even enjoy being on the show with Dan having a couple beers. Like maybe this isn't the audience for you, whatever the case is. But I just met with a guy and we're booked out through like mid-May. We got podcasts galore, and they'll keep coming. But we're booked out on the late night show through mid-May. I want to hit on, and this would be really fun if Rob were here, because Rob and Chad would run circles around this one. I've just got
Where are you at, Rob?
He's out training people is what he's doing. He's making these stories right
he's
now.
busy too. Yeah.
He's got to be like, what else would you be doing if you're Rob or Trevor? Or like Sean's trying to hire him more people. Rob and Trevor out training people. JC and Angela are at a convention. It's just that time of year. Michael's in Hawaii doing fam stuff. So it's just you and me, Jai. It's just you and me. We're monologuing. I'm monologuing this one. I thought of a top 3, and it's gonna be a solo top 3 today, but that's all right. We got stuff to do. I have a lot of fond memories. This is like type 2. These are type 2 memories.
Type 2 fun.
Yeah, at the time they sucked, but they're funny looking back. Of just like training people and the funny things that sometimes they're good employees, sometimes they're bad employees. But there's a lot of funny stories that go along with training employees. So here's my top 3. Let's see. I'm gonna go with I think I gotta go with this one. This is gonna be number 3. If I had to pick a number 3. Oh, I look like a son of Steve Jobs. Damn, I feel like I'd be way smarter.
Is that a compliment? Or
I don't know.
Take
it
as a compliment. You say thank you.
Thank you. Got the brains. Got them brains. So this one, and Sean and I have told this one before. No, I'm switching up. This one's number 3. I should have decided this earlier. I had these in my head, but I didn't have them in order. But I'm gonna go with this one. We had a guy. I thought this guy was gonna be an employee forever. Like, just had a fun attitude, interviewed well, like stayed in touch well up until day 1. And then day 1 came and he pulled the old like, hey, my grandma died. I'm 90% sure that was the excuse. I'm 90% sure it was a, hey, my grandma died. Erica Perez is in the house. What's up, Erica? Thanks for joining. I'm monologuing over here. The panel's all busy today. So I'm just, in here talking at the mic. And I know we've all got a dozen of these stories. Well, dozen undersells it. We got dozens of these stories. But I had a guy show up for our window cleaning business, or not show up because, I hired him and they didn't show up on day 1. Had a grandma. I feel like he didn't show up day 1 or day 2.
Have I heard this before?
I don't think you've heard this one. I think the other 2
really?
I think the other 2 you have heard, but I don't think you've heard this one.
Okay, cool.
Then he showed up day 3, and this is like springtime, and he's coming in, and he slips on the ice coming in, like into the shop.
Yeah.
Like slips outside in the parking lot and eats it. And I didn't see it. One of the other guys saw it and said he ate it pretty good. And so he like limps in and he's like, I don't know, man. Like, and I'm just like, man, how is this happening? Like, what do we got going on here? And I'm like, can you work today? Can you not work today? What are we doing? And so I think he ended up trying to go out. And then the next day he was like, I'm way too sore to work. And so like that was an effort of work on Wednesday, but then Thursday he didn't work. And I think Friday he tried to work and was like pushing through. And our trainer was like, hey, I think he's going to be like, I know it wasn't a clean start. I think he's going to be all right. But we got to get like more training reps with him. And so like the next Monday rolls around, calls in sick. And I just was like, you know what? He might be the best employee we've ever not had. But I learned, and I always go back to this, and I say this over and over again, and this guy was my catalyst for it. Again, like maybe he just had this string of things happening that he couldn't power through. But I have found that when usually when 2 things happen, this is kind of already happening. But for sure, when 3, like with some people, it's just always something. And if it's always something, then it's always something. And it doesn't matter if your grandma passed away. I swear to God, we had one employee who once had 8 grandmas that passed away. She always had a grandma that died. It's just with some people, it's always something. And so we let him go because it was always something. 3 times in a week, in a day, it was always something. So that one always cracked me because I always wondered what if. because like I said, he interviewed so well. Even when he came in that first Wednesday, when he tried to make an effort, he had good mood, good attitude. Like, I wished him well. I wish he would have not had a grandma pass away and not fallen on the ice and not gotten sick. But with some people, it's just always something. It's a fireable offense. Maybe that's a core value of mine. It can't always be something.
It's the timing. And timing's a what you call it? Timing's a bitch.
Timing is a bitch. It is a bitch. It wasn't meant to be, buddy. Wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't meant to be. Yeah.
He's doing something out there. So that's my number 3. And like, maybe not the best story ever, but I still wonder about him. I still wonder what happened to him. He could have been awesome. Maybe he is awesome. Maybe he's out there doing big stuff. Or maybe he's working for somebody right now that's like, damn, with Dylan or whatever his name was, it's just always something. I bet that's what his boss is saying right now. Why is it always something with you, man?
You never know. Yeah.
Never
know. It's a big what if. Yeah.
It's a big what if. Number 2, and you've probably heard me tell this one, Jai. I had this gal. It's always the ones that interview the best. I've learned now I do a reverse interview.
Yeah.
If I've talked about that on the show, I do like a group interview and reverse interview where they have to pick me. Not to say I get it right every time, but I can watch in their nonverbals a little bit better of how this is going to go. This was still in my phase of dumpster hiring, where if somebody showed up and had a pulse, these next two are both maid service employees. If they showed up and had a pulse, and I was running my business desperately because I was recruiting when I needed to hire people instead of doing what I do now, which is I recruit people when the recruiting market is good and I pull them off of my bench when I want to hire them. I used to recruit like everybody else does, which is I need some employees. I'm going to start running some ads and I'm going to hire the first person that comes through that's got a pulse. So this gal comes through. She's got a pulse. She showed up late to the interview, but had a good excuse, as people that show up late do. I show up late to a lot of stuff. I'm always running behind, like on my virtual day over here. I'm like, the later it gets in the day, the worse I am. So she showed up late, and then the next day she showed up late, but like I was totally desperate. I had nobody else, and she had cleaning experience, and I'm like, all right, like I'm waiting for you. The third day, I like am texting her, I'm calling her, I'm cleaning with her, I am training her, and we are to the first house at 8:00. Like we need to leave the office 7:30, 7:45. And the requirement was you got to be here at 7:15 so we can load up, get the supplies, and then we'll head to the first house to get there at 8. That's the game plan. It's like 8:15. I haven't heard from her yet. I'm calling, I'm texting. She finally texts me back and says, I'm on the way. And I'm like, sweet. And I'm like, how long till you're here? And she says, I'm just at the stoplight. I'm like, there's a lot of stoplights between you and me. Like, which stoplight are you at? And she's like, just around the corner. And I'm like, okay, so like, I'll see you in a couple minutes. Like 5-10 minutes goes by, and I text her again. And I'm like, where did you get lost? Like, you were just around the corner. She's like, I'm 15 minutes out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You just said you were like right around the corner. How did you get from right around the corner to 15 minutes out? It had to be at least like 8:30, 8:45 by the time she showed up. And I'm kind of like, what? Like, do you want this job? I don't want this job. Like, what are we doing here? Let's go. Like, get in my car and we're driving. She's like, oh, I need to go do this. So can I drive my car? Because I need to be done at X, Y, and Z for whatever. And I'm like, whatever, get in your own car. Let's go. And so she followed me to the house. We went in and cleaned, and I was like, hey, here's the deal. Like, we start work at 7:15. You got to be there at 7:15. If you're not there at 7:15, then this isn't the job for you. That's not the end of the world. Like, we're a real business. We have a start time. And so she's like, yep, I understand. I'm on it. No big deal. I'm on it tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, what? Like, I already know not that I don't believe anything that you say. And so I'm in this house cleaning with her, and she like was cleaning one room, and I'm cleaning the bathroom, and she like walks past the bathroom and is like, hey, Dan, like I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast today. I got a granola bar out in the car. Do you mind if I like go get that? And I'm just like, yeah, just eat it outside, right? Don't bring the crumbs inside. Just scarf it down and get back to it. And and I'm cleaning the bathroom and I hear a car start up and I'm like, sounds like it's right out front. And I just walk out and I like look into the living room just in time to see her drive away. I was like, oh, I remember texting Sean because Sean like was doing recruiting for us for all of our cleaning companies at the time. And I texted Sean because he knew I was already struggling with this gal. I think I texted him and Paul, who was like my marketing dude, but also helped me clean if I needed help cleaning. He was an employee of ours. And I was like,
Nice.
oh, well, Brittany or whatever her name is just took off, said she needed to get a granola bar. Apparently the granola bar was really far away. And then instead of like saying, hey, I don't think this is the right job for me, she's like, oh, my boyfriend left his keys in my car and he had to go somewhere. I was like, Brittany, let's just be done. Like, what? Why are you lying to me over and over and over again? Like, you clearly don't want this job.
Yeah.
That's okay. Get out of here. Like, quit wasting both of our time. So that was my number 2. Number 1, and I'm 99% sure you've heard this one before, Jai. We had this one gal come in and interview, and this is when I learned I really sucked at interviewing. This just fooled me 10 ways to Sunday. Came in, she interviewed. She said a quote that I still quote because I think it was a cool quote. She said, "Communication rules the nation," and I was like,
Wow.
This gal is like interviewing well. She scored well on our assessments. She had all the right answers. And I was like, Aria, I have no doubt that you can clean, but I think with your personality style and like just you're on it. Do you have manager experience? Do you want to work your way to being a manager? Because I'm still the manager. I need somebody to take on that role. I don't have anybody here that is interested or has the qualities to be in that role, but I get the sense like you're a go-getter. That would be a thing that you would be interested in. And she's like, heck yeah. So I'm like, all right, we're like, we still need to train you on cleaning processes, but like, we're going to plan on you being the manager. And so like part of your training is to like learn your team here. Let's roll you into that role. And once you're managing people, then we can even pay you more. So like super impressive in the interview. Again, I think I just suck at one-on-one interviews and she had me totally fooled. Still use that communication rules the nation quote though. And so like I got some weird feedback from clients about her, like weird interactions like that. She was like yelling at clients. And that seemed really strange because I never got that vibe. And then one of her trainees like told me that like there was a weird interaction and the customer didn't. And so there was enough like just weird pieces of feedback that I would get about her. And again, like nowadays she would have been fired so fast, but back then I was just desperate. We had work on the schedule. We needed people. So we just kept her and she was still our manager. And then we brought in Erica, and this is when I knew for sure I was the worst interviewer because I interviewed Erica, and I was like, "This lady sucks," but I am willingly and knowledge. What am I trying to say? Willingly and knowingly going to hire this person that I think is going to be a bad employee. I am so desperate. I just need people, and she showed up and has a pulse. And so let's dumpster hire. Here we go. And Erica ended up being our best employee. Like just good attitude, cleaned whatever, never complained, wanted more work to do, was so reliable. But Aria, on the other hand, the gal that I made a manager because I suck, she was the one that called in the Friday after Thanksgiving, right? Like I know employees are going to call on the Friday after Thanksgiving in a maid service business. Like that is a day people call in, and you would expect that it wouldn't be your manager.
Yeah,
like,
you were expecting,
yeah,
like, someone else, yeah.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to be the manager. But my favorite one is when Erica was training, they were out cleaning the house. Aria was training Erica. So Aria had like gone through training, was cleaning houses, was our manager. Like some customers liked her, some customers hated her, some employees liked her, some hated her. Again, there was enough going on where my spidey sense was just going weird.
Yeah.
And maybe she was like bipolar or something. Who knows what she had going on? Yeah. I didn't quite wait around long enough to find out, but I knew it wasn't a good fit when she was training Erica and they were in Erica's car. Like our employees would drive their cars. And so like one of the team members would drive and the other one would ride. And then we'd pay a reimbursement to whoever was driving. So
Yeah.
Erica was driving, Aria was riding with her. Erica got a flat tire or like something broke down, whatever the case was. And instead of helping solve the problem, Aria called her boyfriend, had her boyfriend pick her up and left Erica to solve the problem and
Yo.
finish cleaning the route. Like we weren't done. They had another house to go clean. And Aria
That's
just
messed up.
failed and left her
Yeah.
trainee stranded on the side of the road. I was like, that is
What?
some manager material. Like having your team's back. Don't worry, you got this. I'm out. Oh,
I'm
man.
out.
Yeah, that's my top one. That's my top one. She we fired her after that. That was a fireable offense. But man, yeah, I'll never forget. Like Erica called. I was like, hey, I'm stuck on the side of the road. I'm like, okay,
Have you seen?
what's wrong? What's
Yeah,
the plan? Well, Aria left, so I guess I'm just here until I get
Have you
some
seen
help.
Aria? Is he back in the office?
It was a she.
Kind of neat. Yeah.
It was a she.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember calling her. I was so worried about letting her go. I feel like I actually had somebody at the office with me just in case she threw like a total crazy tantrum.
Yeah.
Like I think Paul was planning on working from home that day and I had him come in. I like, she was so dishonest, but so convincing. I was like, I don't even think I was supposed to be at the office. I drove like 45 minutes across town to just to be at the office when she dropped her stuff off. Cause I just didn't trust that she wasn't going to like steal everything and burn it all down. Like she's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now I have a fourth one, Jai. I have one more.
Oh.
This is maybe, I hadn't thought of this one. This is maybe my top one. I don't know how I forgot about this one. We had a window cleaning guy who, and I have now learned this over and over and over again, especially with technicians and home service businesses. You do not want ones with experience. In general, if you hire somebody that has experience, like all the people that I just went through, those 3 people I just went through all had experience doing that job. Maybe not the guy that slipped on the ice, but those 2 girls both had home cleaning experience, which is why I hired them. I was like, oh, good. You can come in and clean right away. I need help. Like, well, the joke is if they have experience and they're not where they were, like there's a reason why they're unemployed, right? And these people were all unemployed looking for work. They weren't employed looking for work. That's a huge distinction. If they're a home cleaner that's employed looking for work and they have a shitty situation, and you got to use your spidey sense to figure out, are they just a whiny complainer that's going to leave here the minute they think something's unfair? Like it's hard. That can be hard to tell. But if they've got experience and they aren't currently working, that tells you pretty much everything you need to know, which is they clearly weren't good enough to stay where they were at, right? If they were good, they would be still cleaning windows there, cleaning houses there, whatever it is. But this guy comes by, and I hired him because he had experience and I didn't know better. And day 1 and day 2, like he was just moving real slow. Like, he prompted me. It wasn't on his background check, but he prompted me and said, hey, I know I've got a felony. Here's what happened. And I was just in the car and, blah, 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 blah. And again, I just dumpster hired. I just totally dumpster hired. I was like, cool, man. I believe you. Like, and my logic was you told me, like, I didn't have to ask you. You brought it up. So like you have the wherewithal to like know how to talk about it. And I am not against giving people second chances. Like, I think that's an important thing we can do as small business owners. And we didn't have a problem with him at any house. The problem we had with him was he was just lazy and slow as hell. Like, I found out why he couldn't hold a job. He got $200 worth of windows cleaned in a day when all the rest of our guys would get 800 to 1,000 done in a day. And so he started showing up late, like week 2, showing up late. And there was a day he came in, said hi to me. He was an hour late. And I was like, get going. Like Brent is waiting for you out at the job. Like, you're supposed to be training with him. He's already out there. You got to go meet him or whatever. And I'd messaged Brent and I was like, hey, I think you got to let this guy go. You're the manager, you decide, but it just doesn't seem like a good fit. He's coming in late. He's already got bad behaviors. It's never going to get here. And so Brent, and I was like, maybe you should have Zach around because this guy's a felon. Like, I don't know what's going to go down. So Brent and Zach, the two managers had, Joe just chimed in. A flaw of mine for years was keeping people way too long. Wanted to keep everyone happy except me. Same. And I just always thought that they would turn it around and like figure it out, and they just didn't. I thought I like therapist for so long. So anyway, we're like gonna let this dude go, and Brent fires him, and then he is in Brent's face, like just swearing at him, threatening him, and then Zach walks in. And Zach was a tiny dude, but Zach didn't take no shit from nobody. And this dude was like 280, big dude. And then him and Zach are getting into it. And he's like threatening Zach and like saying he's going to report him for this and report him for that. Then he calls me and he's just F-bombing me. And he said the words, I'm going to come there tomorrow and I'm going to teach you a lesson. And I'm like, okay. That's an interesting thing to say for a felon. And he's just, I mean, he's like screaming. And I'm like, we don't owe you a job, and you're not good at this job. You clean windows really slow. It's not a good fit. And he's like irate. He can't get over it. And I'm like, why? You showed up an hour late. You clearly don't want this job. Why are you so mad that I'm freeing you from a job you don't even want? Like, I don't understand why you're so pissed off. Oh, I saw you just change the text to Dan's top 4. Yeah. Your top 5 before we're done here. But I mean, I've never seen anybody so irate, like just screaming. Like for 40 minutes, I couldn't get a word in, screaming. And I was like, all right, man, like I'm done talking to you. You're just yelling at me. I'm not answering the phone again. You're done. Like this isn't how you would get your job back anyway, by yelling at the person that runs the company. And so it's just not a good fit. I'm sorry you're frustrated and pissed off and whatever, and you're going to teach whoever a lesson. I wish you well. I'm out of here. So I hung up, and he keeps trying to call me and yelling in voicemails and whatever. And then Zach is messaging me like, this guy won't leave it alone. I had forgot. So then I called the cops, and I was like, hey, we fired an employee. Yeah. They have yelled at my two managers and me and threatened all of us and said they're going to teach us a lesson. And I can only understand that to mean violence. And I'm trying to run a business here and protect my team. Can you guys have officers at our office in the morning? I will get there at 7, and usually our employees come in at 7:30 and we leave around 8:30 once we're all rigged up. Like, can you send a squad or two over just in case he shows up? Right. And I forgot his brother. We didn't fire his brother. His brother also worked for us, who we did fire later for other reasons, but was actually a great worker. It was like they were hilariously different. But his brother couldn't drive. So Chris had to drive his brother, and Chris rolls in their minivan and drops his brother off. The police are there, right? Like, and I think don't know what he thought when he showed up, besides like, oh shit, it's JC and Angela. The police are here. Hold on, I'm doing my top 4, you guys. It was supposed to be a top 3, but since nobody else was here, I was monologuing. I decided to make it a top 4 about the guy that was going to teach. And so the cops are there. I can see it on his face the minute that he rolls in. Like immediately he knew he was in trouble. He parked around back. Tommy, his brother, came trucking in, gets his stuff. He's coming to work. The cops go and start talking to Chris. And then the cops come up to my door. Like I don't see Chris again. But I'm wondering why he isn't driving away. He's still back by his minivan and he's not leaving. He's just parked around back. And the officer comes up to me and says, Dan, I don't think we're going to have a problem. I made it very clear that if he shows up here again and there's anything like we know him, we know who he is, we know where he lives, we know his vehicle, he will be under arrest immediately. He is not allowed back here. But he can't leave right now because actually his license is expired. And so he's got to wait for his mom to come get him. So that was like the best, like, fuck you that I've ever seen is coming to teach us a lesson. And then we just had two squads there waiting for him. And I think the lesson got reversed very quickly on him. But that's maybe my favorite training mishap / hilarious story of all time that I've been a part of. JC and Angela in the house.
You're all alone, Dan. What's going on?
Well, I assume like Trevor's probably working and training people. Rob's probably working and training people. Sean, and you guys missed the first half. Debbie's CBF Live virtual event. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, she crushed it. I went in very suspect because I haven't seen virtual events go well, but she had hundreds of engaged people. I have 25 demos on my schedule. Like, Sean said he stopped counting at 25. He was just like, I don't know, like, I just got to build. I got to work. I got to, I got to do all these things. So I'm not, and Michael's in Hawaii or something like that. So it's just a monologue day. But somehow I've been sitting here talking for 50 minutes. I told Jai we're going to do a quick one today. And as happens, nope. You know how I tell stories.
Powering you through.
Yeah.
That's powering you through.
Yeah, man.
Doing a good job at it too.
Lunch break over here in Washington. I was like, shit, Dan's show. Let's jump on real quick and jump in the corner. So
there you go. What's in Washington? Where in the world? Where in the world segment?
So we are in where are we? I don't even know the name of the city. It's called the Tri-Cities. It's like eastern Washington.
Okay.
But we're here for Next Level Pros, like a mastermind group. We just left Salt Lake City last night at 11 o'clock, got here at midnight. So we've done every single time zone over the last 4 days. East Coast, we went to Omaha, we went to Salt Lake City, now we're in Washington, and then tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we head back. And then I think we leave Seattle at 9 and get back to Atlanta like 5 a.m. or some shit.
You guys. That's classic JC and Angela shit. That is some classic JC and Angela shit. That's wild. But
it's been great. We've made some really good connections. It's the first time we've been here at this event. Dom. Dom's here.
Nice. Dom's the man. I like Dom.
Yeah, Dom just met Shred at CleanCon, and they connected, so he's here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good event. They got about 70 people, probably. Feels like. So
who puts that one on? Who I've heard of it, but I don't know like who it's associated with.
Trent Lowenstein, he was at CleanCon for a little while.
Okay, yeah, it's Trent. Okay.
Yeah, and then his partner Chris Lee, and I believe there's one more guy.
Sweet.
So,
well, good. Safe travels to you guys. Have fun. I miss you. I need to. We still need to. Whenever you guys have like a minute. JC, I know you tried to like hit me up and then I didn't have a minute, but I gotta get with Hildy and you guys and like book flights and travels and do that for the Philippines.
They're not getting any cheap, so
I bet not. Hey, wait, Jai, are you going? Am I gonna see? Is Jai gonna be there this year? We get a Jai?
I don't know what the dates are yet, but yeah, of course I'll go if
yes,
it, if it enables me to. Yeah.
Yes, we'll make sure you have him, Jai.
Okay, thank you. I'm excited to see you again. Then
we lost.
Was that?
We couldn't hear you.
Jai's the honorary.
Yeah. He gets the honorary. He's like gets the honorary invite to the Masters type of guy.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You, Jai. Yeah.
I missed.
All right, well, we gotta get back into this class. We just want to jump on, say hi.
Enjoy.
Take care, you guys.
Thanks for checking in. Safe
Later,
travels back. See ya. I missed this one from Joe when I was telling my top one story after top three turned to top four. Joe said I had a similar situation. He's told me about this before. Crazy though. A week later, he was shot and killed at a Walmart parking lot. For all I know, Joe, so was Chris, my guy. He might have been shot and killed in a Walmart parking lot a week later. It was
for JC.
It was.
Sorry.
Yeah. Joe, I saw Joe said I'm in Wilmington now. You should
finish your story first. Yeah. Finish your story first.
That story though really made me think hard about like, do I have employees over to my house? Because when I was running our window cleaning business, I would have guys over for beers and like hanging by the pool and whatever. And I like to do that sort of thing and do team building stuff like that. And after that, dude, I was like, I don't think I can have employees over to my house again. Like for the safety of my family, I might need to fire them. And if they are half of as crazy as that guy was, I would not want them to even know what city I live in. Like, I'm sure they could figure it out online with our business registration and all that stuff. But that did make me think twice about like, A, who am I hiring? B, how much information am I putting out there about where I live and whatever or where my businesses are or whatever, because people like that are out there. This guy was crazy. He literally spent 2 hours yelling at me, Zach, and Brent. I don't know how he had a voice left. I mean, like just screaming. It's like, man.
I mean, after
if you wanted
after
to
that,
stop that bad, you should have tried working harder. Like that would be
after that. Yeah, after that interaction, did you? I don't know. Did you start, running background checks on?
We ran a background
YouTube,
check. We ran a
on
background
him?
check. It didn't.
Oh yeah, okay.
It didn't come up with any. Like he told me he had a felony.
Yeah, I was listening that.
It was like still in court or something. Like it didn't show up on his background check. And said that's how I feel about employees cleaning my home. Oh, Jai, we did this thing where you click the button and I click the button. It is tricky. It's like I want them to get the experience, and especially like when you're running a home cleaning business, like when you've got people training or when people call in, you want to keep them busy and like give them some extra work to do. That's great until it's not. Just don't hire Chris. That guy was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I've never like I thought Aria was crazy. I thought my top what I thought was my top one, but ended up being my top two. I thought she was crazy, and then we had the Chris one. So those are my top 3/4 is what we're calling it now. But just it's a reminder that as we go through this spring season, at the time all those stories sucked, right? Now it's the things I don't remember the trainings of the ones that went well. It's not memorable. It's not funny. It's not entertaining.
Yeah.
We tell stories about these ones, the ones that went wrong, right? So like it's hard in the moment, but just know that every time something really sucks in your business, it is some type 2 fun. It's not fun at the time, but it's going to be fun later, and you're going to reminisce about it later. And when you're running a multi-million-dollar business, you're going to look back and tell stories about, remember when we used to do it that way and we hired that person, whatever it is. So enjoy the journey. Ann says background checks sometimes mean they didn't get caught. God, even sometimes when they do, it's like it's not a reliable source. It's finicky. Yeah. It's tricky.
Would you look at that?
Did we?
Yeah.
We made it. We just did. We did a whole. Yeah. We did a whole Sorry, everybody, that you had to listen to me for an hour. But hey, we covered some ground. I do need to wrap this thing up. I got a lot of work to do. Because I know Ann's on my schedule for a couple weeks out. I gotta get through some shit so we can work on Ann's stuff in a while. We're busy. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. It was a good job, but now we need to do a great job because we got a lot of people to take care of. So
yeah,
now the fun starts. I told y'all earlier, Jai, hit me with some tunes. Hit me with some sweet. Yeah. We got Ray Malasky on tonight from Get Cleaning Clicks. I think that's the name of it. I'm pretty sure I just got that right. Holy moly. Ray Malasky, Get Cleaning Clicks. I'm probably getting it all wrong, but that sounded right. That felt right. So 4 hours from now, Ray and I will be hanging out. I will be having a beer, I'm sure. In between now and then, I got to get a bunch of work done, go get my kids, feed them, all that stuff. You guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. We'll see you back here in a few hours with Ray. Peace.
See you guys.
See you, Jesus. You were extra Jesus-y today. Very much in the back. Never saw you on the screen. Just all Jesus.
Yeah.